many books do you have?
Yeah, we can talk about Content Canon. It's the one
Content
that's
canon.
officially in print. It's
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, content canon.
yeah. It's
So
also go
let's
ahead.
do I introduce myself and then I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself. Let's do digging of your writing and let's promote content canon.
Sure.
So content canon is all about social media.
Yeah, it was designed to be a guide to help entrepreneurs create a whole month's worth of content for their business in one day.
Okay, so a self-help or what? How you categorize it?
Um, I guess self help.
Or
I guess
reference?
an instruction guide, a playbook.
A playbook. Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. So let's start then. Okay, music please. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitch. If you want to watch later our episode, just give me your email and share you the link. And after this, probably after 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm gonna publish on my podcast, Book 101 Review.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. It'll be on like Spotify.
Spotify, Apple, and any podcast platform. Any
Awesome. Awesome.
podcast. Yes.
And then
This
you'll toggle between the book. I see it's being shared. So you'll toggle between the book and just us.
yes.
Okay, cool.
And oh, there's something wrong with my mouse. Just give me a minute, please. Here we
Yeah.
go.
And how's my
Music,
lighting?
please.
How's my lighting?
Yes. Good. Your background is yeah, it's so good.
Okay.
Okay, music, please. Oh my, yeah, mouse. Where are we? I think we're live already. My goodness. Wait, I'll check. Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that are read for the last 40 years, and today I have my special guest. He's the author of the book Content Canon, no other than Mr. Arias Websterberry.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Arias, and can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Arius Webster Berry. I'm an entrepreneur. I am an author, a speaker, and a trainer. I'm formerly trained as a digital marketer, and I help entrepreneurs generate leads and turn those leads into dollars.
Dollars. Dollars, dollars, people. We need dollars. What inspired you to become an author?
Actually, it was something that one of my clients suggested. She is a publisher, and she said, there is no better way for you to brand yourself, bring awareness to the things that you do than, writing a book and sharing your knowledge and expertise with the world.
Yes, Content Canon. What
Hmm.
inspired you to write?
Yeah, I mean, when I started my business, social media had got a foothold, but it wasn't a thing where creating content was for the layman. And even now, a lot of business owners struggle with creating content. It's not something they enjoy doing. It's arduous. It takes a lot of time and energy. And I wanted to be able to take the best practices from my marketing agency that we use with clients, big and small, every day, and turn that into something really simple to understand and digest.
So, what are your short term and long term goals in writing?
We actually have a very long-term goal. So I'm probably going to release a book every single year around the various topics that I've been able to master in my 14 years of marketing. Short term, I just want to get this book into the hands of as many aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners as possible. Hopefully, it makes an impact and helps them touch and impact an audience that needs their content, that needs to know about their business and needs to know about their offering.
So, what is your main purpose in writing content canon?
Um, Probably just to simplify the process. A lot of times it seems uh, like you have to have some fancy camera equipment, or that you need to be an amazing video editor, um, or you need to be a YouTube sensation in order to create content. And that's not the case. Even if you only have 5 followers, it's okay. You can create content and build your audience as it goes, and it doesn't need to be perfect. And it's very possible for a solopreneur who just got started in their first month of business to create amazing content that resonates with their audience.
So, what are the process in building a content canon?
In writing the book,
Yes, or in general, if you're already making or creating something, what are the process?
well, the big thing that we do is we try to help you with deliberately putting yourself on the path to least resistance. So a lot of times, we as humans, we're lazy. We If there are too many roadblocks to getting to our goal, we may do it once or twice, but we won't do it consistently. So one of the things we talk about in the book is setting yourself up in a space that is already set for you to create. And that's the first thing, having a space. Now, some people may or may not be able to see us, but I'm in this space that's curated for me to create. Right, I've got lighting and geometric tiles on the wall, and I've got my camera and all these different things, and that allows me to create content almost every single day. But even if you're not me, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is find a space that's quiet, that you can have your equipment already set up, so that when you're ready to create, you can sit down, turn on the lights and the cameras, and get to it. So having a dedicated space is critical. And then the second thing is just being prepared, having a plan for your content, taking a little bit of time and deciding exactly what it is it that you want to speak about, get some bullet points, and rehearse those things prior to, so that when you get in front of the camera, there's less takes, there's less stopping and starting, there's less nerves when you're trying to create your content. All of those things, a little bit of preparation, a little forethought goes a long way in making content regularly.
I agree. Practice make you perfect, as they said. Very well said, Mr. Arias. Very well said. I totally agree with you.
Yep.
And wait, there's something wrong with my background. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm doing the clap, but this is the one is producing. So, how do you capture the essence of creating a content canon?
Um, I would say just trying to encapsulate and bottle your essence. Taking those things that are unique about you or your brand, and making those the hallmarks or the tenets of your content. Whether that's a catchphrase, whether that's a song or an intro, or a set of words, or your lexicon that you use, that you and your audience use as shorthand for the things that you're trying to convey. Those are the things that are important. That's what helps to bond you to your audience. That's what helps you be unique in this day and age where everybody with a cell phone can create content. It's very important to try to find something unique about you, lean into that, and own it.
Definitely. Let's see. Our clap is not working, so can I do the cheers? Yes, it's
Hey,
working. Very well said. Oh my god. And very well said, Mr. Arias. I hope you inspire other creator
thank you,
out
thank you.
there. So, what role does research play in creating a content canon?
It's everything. It's a rare person in my experience that has the ability to just get in front of the camera and just off the cuff come up with content. As you do it more and more, you'll develop that ability. But for most of us, it takes some time. It takes research in order to either find some decent ideas that you can turn into a whole, content piece, or just coming up with a unique perspective on maybe an old idea. Taking that time to sit down and research, coming up with some facts or some statistics or a process, or delving deep into a subject so you have something um, interesting or riveting to share is in that research process. And it's never been easier. Back in the day, you had to go to the library and check out books
Yes,
in order to do research. Now you've got a supercomputer in your pocket that has the entire, knowledge of humans, at fingertip away. So I think the research is critical, and utilizing AI to do some of the heavy lifting nowadays makes it even easier.
definitely. So, in writing this book, Content Canon, how do you balance personal experiences with the practical information for readers?
Um, I didn't want this book to have a whole lot of fluff. I wanted it to really get to the root of things. There's a stat that the vast majority of Americans don't read a book, I think, after high school, like cover to cover. And then of those that do, after 30, they may only read two or three books for the rest of their lives. So with that knowledge, I wanted to make sure that it was direct and to the point. I wanted to keep it short and make most of the pages very impactful. However, I didn't want it to just be ABC 1, 2, 3, a very rigid book. So there's a little bit of narrative. There's a little bit of me telling my story as to how I came to this process and this playbook in it. But I wanted to make sure that I focused on actionable steps. So in the book, you'll see a lot of homework at the end, and I know that's a dirty word if you're thinking about your time in school, but really simple things that you can do as soon as you finish reading the chapter that you can instantly implement. That doesn't take weeks or months to do. You can get it done that same day.
Totally agree. So, how do you create a compelling ideas to make it big like a content canon?
Um, how do you curate ideas, make it big? I think focusing on what your audience is grappling with, and that takes you talking to them, whether that's face to face, or if that's on Reddit or Quora, all of these different channels, these public forums where people are giving you all the information you need to find the pain points that they're experiencing. The best content is usually one that acknowledges the problem and faces it head on, and then provides some kind of relief. If that's not something tangible and tactical, something emotional and heartfelt as far as relief. So I think really digging into the problems that your audience is facing and doing what you can to try to provide that relief is what makes it big.
Definitely. So, what techniques can you use to create something big?
Um, Techniques. I'd probably say um, going across multiple platforms. Video obviously um, is king these days. Trying to make sure that you are taking your personality and you're giving it to them, but trying to get your message on as many platforms as possible. You'd be surprised how many clients. Um, didn't think that TikTok was something that would work for them, and they said, "I don't want to dance, I don't want to do any of these wacky things that a lot of people are doing," and then they find that there's a lot of their tribe there. So I think you can make things big by taking your content and spreading it as many places as possible, and then paying attention to the numbers. The numbers will tell you where your most loyal um, and engaged following is, and spend more time in those spaces and try to figure out why.
Yes, definitely. Very well said, Mr. Alice. Very well said. And how did you incorporate the daily life or the daily activities in creating a content canon?
Daily activities. Um, Actually, I catch myself scrolling on social media often, just like everyone else.
Yes.
One of the things that I do is I'm always on the hunt for content that I would like to create. So what I've done is I've created a little folder in on different platforms that says content ideas. So as I'm scrolling and I see something really cool or something that's I'm like, hey, I can do that, or maybe I can put my own spin on it. I put it in that folder. I save it, and then when it's time for me to do my research or plan my content, I revert back to that folder and see what I've saved, since the last time. Or and I goes back sometimes a year or two and find a gem, and then say, okay, how can I take this framework or this idea and craft that, for my industry or for this particular subject. And that's something that I do every single day, because there's a lot of great content creators out there, and I don't think that you have to um, come up with something brand new. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you do need to adapt it and customize it, for who you are and who you're speaking to.
How did you engage to your readers emotionally when making content canon?
Just giving pieces of me, really trying to illustrate what my process is. Those readers can't see the room that I'm sitting in right now, so I tried to illustrate, what the walls look like, and what the feeling is. I'm sitting in a room that's completely black, right? I have black silk wallpaper and black geometric tiles, but I use color and lighting in order to give it, some emotion. So um, I tried to connect that way in being descriptive, but also trying to level with them with the fact that, sometimes it is difficult to make content. It is inconvenient. It's uncomfortable, especially when you're first starting. And being honest about my own struggles. My team knows this. They'll probably watch this and comment, but I don't really enjoy the content process. At least I didn't when I first started. I had to force myself to do it, and actually, me being on this podcast is a project of my team. The last 2 years, at the end of the year, I always ask my team, what do we do good and what could we do more of? What would you like to see in the coming year? And 2 years in a row, they've said, we want you to get in front of the camera. You like talking, you're good at it. You should go out on podcasts, you should do interviews. And I talk about that in the book, the fact that, I didn't take to it naturally, and I do sometimes begrudgingly do the content thing and create it, and I think a lot of people can and resonate with that and understand it.
You're really good, Mr. Elias. And thank you for sharing your talent to the world. I hope more books to come to inspire people all over the world and create something big. As Apple said, think big. So, how do you, how did you determine the right balance when creating a content?
um Balance. I would say that we just experiment. We're always trying new things. So in social media, there's a lot of different fads, and you know viral this, and the algorithm is giving more attention to that. It's ever shifting, so we just try to have fun with it and experiment. So we find balance in posting pictures and carousels along with reels and long form video, stripping some of that down and turning it into audio, and just really seeing what's getting more attention and getting more engagement. So yeah, we our biggest thing is experimentation.
So in short, trial and error, right?
Indeed.
Yes, definitely. So how can you convey the challenges or surprises in creating content?
Um, Probably just do so in real time. You don't want to fabricate things. You don't want to make it seem like you're excited or you're surprised when you're not. So, try to capture the moments as they happen. I've got thousands of clips and pictures that have never seen the light of day, but I have them. And if you record the things as you go, you can actually bottle that excitement as it's happening, as opposed to you saying, "Oh, you remember that one time when that thing happened? Let's try to recreate that." It comes off as hollow, and not genuine. So I think you convey your surprise and excitement by making sure that you're capturing the thing as it happens, so you can get your genuine reaction as opposed to trying to manufacture something.
Yes, totally agree. How do you ensure that content canon appeals to all the creators out there?
Um, by making it simple to understand. I didn't want to use a lot of technical jargon. I didn't want to get into, frames per second and white balances and, all of these very technical terms that, people that create content professionally use in the industry. I just wanted to bring it down to layman's terms and make it easy to understand. And I think that anyone that reads the book will get that sense that it's not a highbrow, nose in the air. I run a digital marketing agency. I know, ooh, Jesus, I know better than you. Um, it's a hey, I understand where you're coming from. Uh, it's difficult. Let me share some wisdom from someone who does this on a daily basis and hopefully make it easy for you to implement in your life.
Definitely. So how do you plan to market content canon or your
Um, Amazing programs like this, coming on podcast, speaking to the book. I'm doing a lot of actual speaking on stages in the coming year. I've got 4 speaking gigs lined up. We'll probably have a lot more by the time 2025 comes around. And then we've built a site for it. We are doing some giveaways. I'm going to be on radio. I'm going to be on TV, and then obviously, as a digital marketing firm, we're going to be running some ads. So we're going to be pushing this out. And then one of the big things is just making sure it's widely available. So it's available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes and Noble. We're turning it into an audiobook, so it'll be on Audible and all these other things. And we're actually very fortunate to have worked with an actual publisher. So I think last I checked, it's on like 60 to 80 different book sites to where you can purchase books. So part of the um, half the problem is making sure that it's somewhere where people can get to it. And then the other side is just making sure we're doing the work to continuously expose various audiences to the fact that it exists and how it can help.
good job, Mr. Arias. Good job. So what would be your advice for those first timer out there creating their new content?
Um, Done is better than perfect. Um, it's important for you to just do it. Chances are you're going to suck at it. I know I did. And that's okay. But it's more important for you to suck at it and put it out into the world and learn the lesson and iterate and get better than to keep that content or keep your gift uh, inside, trying to make it perfect before you release it. You know, the graveyard is full of people with amazing ideas that are extremely talented that never let their gifts see the light of day. So I tell all of my friends, my family, my clients, my customers, and myself in the mirror that done is better than perfect. Don't overthink it. Do the thing, put it out, and learn and do better next time.
Definitely learn from your mistakes, people, because mistakes make you perfect. And stop procrastinating. If
Indeed.
you have talents, show to the world, share to the world, and create now. Just like Mr. Arias. So, Mr. Arias, what this is my last question. What is your short-term and long-term goals in everything?
And everything. Short term, I have a accelerator called Launch Ignition. It's designed to help entrepreneurs plan, build, and scale their business. We have come up with a 2 year goal, which I guess it's short and long term. I think of long term like 5 to 10 years, but we are focused on helping 1,000 entrepreneurs generate 100K in 1 year, and 100 entrepreneurs generate $1 million in 1 year. We want to do that by the end of 2026. That's what we call our 100K, I'm sorry, 100X impact. And we're doing this because I'm trying to empower small businesses to have the means to not only fend for themselves and their families, but to create generational wealth and pass that on to their children. And if we can impact that many businesses, that's, if you do the math, it's around $200 million in revenue that we will help businesses generate in 1 year. That's a micro economy. Inside of 5 years, that's $1 billion that we've helped or had a hand in pushing into the businesses. So that's my overarching goal. I guess long term, man, is just to be happy, healthy, and doing what I love. Which is which is helping entrepreneurs, which is helping people build businesses. Um, yeah, yeah, that would be it.
Yes. Mr. Arias, thank you so much again for sharing your talents to empower businesswomen, businessmen all over the world. And looking forward for those. So, can you please invite our listeners to support all your projects, your books, and many, many more?
Yeah. If you're looking for what we do, you can go to my website, ariaswebsterberry.com. That's AriasWebsterberry.com. All of my businesses are on there. My books are on there. And whether you're just starting out or looking to scale, remember this: your challenges don't define you. What you do with them does. And I'm here to help you turn your ideas into impact. I can't wait to see what you create.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Mr. Arias, thank you so much and more power to you.
Thank you.
Modicon people, see you soon. So, Mr. Arias, I'm inviting you again maybe next month.